Alright guys, I made a video. I want to make a video right now um, explaining how I killed hip hop, how I stopped the culture, how I how I stopped it, and the reason why nobody's listening to it anymore on the radio. Nobody's excited about new artists. Nobody really gives a shit about it anymore. I'm gonna give you examples how I'm gonna tell you exactly like what's going on with it if I can, get over my camera shyness, okay? If I can get my thoughts together while being on camera, it's hard for me. But it's a video that I want to get out there because I feel like it's a lesson that needs to be learned to evolve humanity, to to understand the universe better, and you know I already know it's gonna sound crazy, but I don't care. Like, I've got to explain this. I've got it all worked out in my head. I rehearsed the speech already today, but I was driving along, and everything's so everything's so clear when you're driving, and everything's so smooth. But then you turn the camera on, and it's like everything gets all messed up. So I wrote down some stages of how I want this video to go, and see if I can follow it. So the name of the video is I Killed the Hip Hop Culture with My Subconscious. Now, the subconscious is like your mind. It's like your mind power. And there's this saying from a movie. If I believe, I forget the exact quote. It's like, you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it. You guys probably know that movie. And there's other movies too on the subconscious, like Vanilla Sky. Your mind is just a powerful thing. And I'm going to explain to you how I destroyed hip hop, the whole culture. Like, it is nothing now. And you can say, hey, you can blame it on the artists. The artists are getting old, and you can make up thousands of excuses. You can be like, well, all this shit sounds the same, and you can be like, there's just no artist right now, and it ain't true, okay? There's thousands of people still making hip hop. There's still tours going on, some of it, but it's just not, it doesn't exist because I killed it. Because I'm not interested in it, I shut it off completely in my mind. So, for example, like, I don't want to get it into too much, like, because I have a tendency to get off subject because I've got like some ADD or something sometimes. But I'll tell you that it's the year 2025 right now, and I was into hip hop for 20 years. I got into it like forcefully, like the very first time I got into it was like 92, but that didn't last long. It was like I bought one tape, and then in 96 I bought a CD. I bought the Nas album, It Was Written, classic album. But then after that, I got into other music. I was growing up and blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't until, I liked some Tupac and stuff, but I'd say when 50 Cent came out, it was 2002. Uh, I don't know, I was 18, and then I heard that Dre and Eminem were producing this dude, and um, it had me interested. And he had been shot a bunch of times, totally gangster, like gangster movie stuff. And I was like, okay, so I went out, I bought the album. Great album, like a classic. It's an absolute hip hop classic. So many songs on there. Good production, good. Anyways, um, that kind of sparked, like, I guess, a bigger interest in music for me, like into the hip hop dimension. And that's that. Now, 50 was cool for about a year. I didn't like him by his second album. I wasn't listening at all. Just wasn't into it. I liked the production. He was working with Scott Storch, and I was really interested in Scott Storch because he was like the real Dr. Dre. Like, yeah, I'm getting off subject again, but Scott Storch was like the real man behind the keys, and then he went on and produced all these hits. Anyways, I was still listening to music. I was still into hip hop, but not 50 anymore. I was listening to, Kanye came out and it was amazing. Anyways, I'm not going to get into all the years and the artists I liked, but from 2002 to 2023, like 21 years, I was really into hip hop. I loved it. My brain was always looking for it. I was going to shows, I was going to like rap battles, watching them. I was, downloading. I was into underground hip hop, not just mainstream. And I learned about the culture a lot. Like I read the Wu-Tang book, which is an amazing book about like their life in Staten Island, how it all started. It was an amazing documentary. And then I just got interested in it, and I got interested in the production as well. I bought an MPC. I love to make beats and sample. I really got involved in it. Okay. So where am I going with this? Like, the years are passing. Let's fast forward to 2020, 2021, 2022, where hip hop is so saturated. It's like every artist is out now, like putting songs out on YouTube on the daily. It's the 808. It's 808 season. Like every beat's using 808s, thumping bass, like the rolling snares, the rolling hi-hats. Like everything is sounding the same. Still good stuff. Like, I mean, there's Drake, there's Travis Scott, whoever. They're bringing new artists out. Like they're featuring new artists. Atlanta came out with a whole bunch of artists, and like artists from the South. Like there was so much music. Like there was so much hip hop. Like, but it was just like this 808 stuff, and it was like, if it didn't have 808s, if it didn't have like that crazy, bass, like wobble or whatever, like it kind of wasn't, it wasn't on the radar. Anyways, I got sick of it. this is what I want to talk about. I got sick of it. I was like, this is bullshit. Like Drake's coming out with an album. It's just like whatever trash. You know, Travis Scott's coming out with an album. It's just like, I don't mean to say it's trash, but it's just like everything is so similar. There's like all these different producers, but they all copy each other. It's like cookie cutout. Like someone took a mold and was like stamp, move on, stamp, move along the conveyor, stamp. This is Lil Jazz. This is Lil Durk. This is Little Him. Or this is like, and it was just like stamp, stamp, and it was just like on the conveyor belt of like endless. And then I'm like, my brain is just like, what is this shit? Like, they have no personality. They have no personality. And then I felt like I was like in the Matrix and it's like zeros and ones everywhere. And then I'm like, this is just, is this, I started to think, I'm like, am I creating this with my mind? Because my mind likes hip hop. So it's like the universe is catering to my mind. Like, oh, the universe is thinking, oh, Mike still likes hip hop. Let's keep putting it out for his consumption. Stamp, here's Lil Jazzer. Stamp, here's, Super Fresh. Here's like, you know what I mean? Like all these names, like they're like running out of names because everything's just like so oversaturated. And then I'm like, my brain is just creating whatever I love. I go out in the street and I saw hip hop everywhere. Like, because I thought it was great. Like, I wasn't like obsessed with it, but I mean, you know what I mean? It kept me going it gave me energy when I was at work or when I was at a party, when I was driving, like you know what I mean? But so my brain was creating all this, I thought. And like, if you believe it, you deserve it, the universe will serve it. And be careful what you wish for. Like there's all these things that, like even in the Bible, it says, ask and you shall receive. And all these things just came to me at once, but I kept putting it off. I'm like, no, but then it kept growing. And all of a sudden, 2024, I'm not listening to hip hop at all. Like, I'm listening to The Weeknd, I'm listening to the Deftones, I'm listening to 80s stuff, like 80s rock, like Van Halen. I'm listening to just like random shit, like pop shit, because I don't care really. But it's not hip hop. Guess what happens? I stopped following all these like producers on Instagram that I used to like hearing about. I stopped following these rappers, like caring about when they're on tour, and they would just show stacks of money and all that shit. It just killed it for me. It just killed it for me. Like it killed I don't know, like the unhumbleness, like everything. I lost my interest in it. They weren't interesting people to me. I didn't look up to them. Just like overnight, I was like, you know what, this is bullshit. Like, so I got rid of all of them on social media. And what else? And yeah, all of them on social media, and I stopped listening to the music. I never really dressed like in hip hop clothing ever. I always dressed kind of normal, like just like polo and like jeans, whatever. So that was already taken care of. But but what am I gonna say? Like I erased it completely from my mind, and guess what happens? There's a radio station in Toronto. It's called 93.5 Flow. And after like 16 years, they went off the air. You think that's a coincidence? You think that after 16 years and it just stops when I stop listening to hip hop, that's a coincidence. No, my brain was already not listening to hip hop, and that's all 93.5 was. It was hip hop R&B, and it was trash. Like it wasn't good. Sorry, I'm not gonna say it was trash. I'm sorry, but it was like, well, I didn't like, to be honest, I didn't like, I didn't like how it was like displayed. But anyways, when I liked hip hop, yeah, it was good. But then, shut it off. But the show went off the air. Now it's a country station. And there's like no hip hop stations in Toronto anymore. There's like maybe an R&B thing in Buffalo, which is close by, or something late at night. But there's no one really playing hip hop now. I barely hear it when I'm walking down the street now. I used to hear the 808s from the subs that people would just be playing randomly driving in the city. I'm not going to say I never hear it, but excuse me, I barely hear it now. I barely hear it. I'm saying maybe 2-3 times a week, like one song, and I'm on the road all day. Like I'm on the road all day for my job. So that's one coincidence, okay? Another coincidence is just in general that like Drake is coming out with a song. Nobody gives a shit really, like no one's really hyped up for it. Kanye West, he put out a double album. I thought the album was cool, like, because it was good to see a familiar face, like, kind of do it, who was an innovator, but he didn't get the same love that he used to get. And the album is still great, but because I don't love it as much, the universe is killing it off. You have to understand that's what this video is about, is that I killed it by controlling it with my mind. Like, and you can do those things too. If you put your mind to something, it really does come true. It's just what God gave us. God gave us this. If you think about something long and hard all day, you will get it, whatever it is. That's why some people subconsciously, they'll be having negative thoughts. Like they'll smoke some weed, or they'll have something to drink, like some alcohol, and it'll be a major depression hit. And their life will just get worse after that. Their life will just get bad after that, because their subconscious is creating all these scenarios, these negative scenarios. And then it comes to life with all that negativity. So be careful what you wish for. But then there's all those positive thinkers, those people that like you can't break, those people with like positive dreams and hardworking, like not even hardworking, but like just thinking positive. The glass is 3/4 full instead of, one drop. they are going to be successful. They're going to be the best at whatever they do. And they're just going to have good things coming to them. And so, you know, I mean, there's not a lot really to say after that. Like, I killed hip hop culture because it was getting too negative. It was getting too trashy. It was attracting too much negative attention. It was promoting violence. It was promoting hate to other people. It was promoting crime. It was murder. Murder is a big part of hip hop, and crime was always a big part of hip hop. When I realized that stuff is wrong, not to say that I just realized it's wrong, but till I actually cared, that's why it went on for so long. But when I started to really care and really believe in having a prosperous life and having a fair, equal life, believing in God and believing in, taking control of the universe and making it your home, that's when all this stuff disappeared. That's when all these things disappeared and the truth really came out, that it was all just an act. It's like the hip hop industry was just backstabbing. It was fake. People act like friends. They're not really friends. They're just doing it for business. I remember there was beef starting up, like Drake and Rick Ross. Like, that was the fakest beef ever. Those guys are like best friends. They made a lot of hits together. They worked with each other for years. But to make life, they wanted controversy, to sell records, to have people talking about them online. They were like making videos, making fun of each other. Same with Kendrick and Drake, like two big hip hop artists, because it was just, life was so boring, the industry was so boring, they had to do something to make it interesting. Now, I didn't fall for any of that shit, but others did. On Facebook, you read the comments, oh my God, no, Drake's albums are so much better. Oh, Kendrick's got more credit in the streets. Like, all of that was just a fake, phony act. And it was like watching these idiots fight over something worthless. Like, it was hilarious, like how easily manipulation can occur. Someone with some power can just manipulate another person, and they're no different. Like, they're no different than any other human being. I mean, great artists, yeah, but to have them manipulate like that, it was really amazing. It was really amazing to see how it's possible. But not me. I didn't get manipulated by it. I didn't write comments either. I'm not the type to write comments and try to get people on my side to be like, oh, why do you believe this fake crap? I like to let people live their life and enjoy it, because they seem to be having really fun. Like, oh, Toronto's way more gangster city than Compton. We've got real gangsters out here, and yet I love to see people talk like that, because like they're having fun typing that, and like they feel good typing that. Why would I want to come in and ruin that for them? Like I love to see that. But it didn't have me fooled. You know what I mean? And now it's coming out that Tupac was gay, or he was like a total troll, because they showed older videos of him, like, acting fruity, and it's because of the people he was hanging out with, and it was like he's like a new 6ix9ine. I mean, I'm not gonna disrespect him like that. Like Tupac has amazing albums, but the wool has been pulled over so many people's eyes, and I don't even mind, but just don't, it doesn't happen to me anymore. I don't believe in it anymore. So that's what I'm saying. I killed it with my mind. In case you're wondering why hip hop sucks now, why hip hop is no good, why it's just not hitting like it did in 2001, 2002, even in the late 90s, it's because of me, because I got sick of it. I got sick of the fake shit. I got sick of hearing the fake 808s. I got sick of the backstabbing, the fake phony friendships, all that crap, the fake personalities, the gangster personalities. You know, I got sick of it because some of my friends who were worked hard as artists never made it, and it was disappointing to see that, even though they had super skill. It was just such a phony life that I had no problem throwing it away. Not to say that I still don't respect tons of artists now. Nas, Drake, Kanye, Tupac. There's like bits of artists, Wu-Tang, Boot Camp Click. There's these groups that, like, for every one, there's like 10,000 fake. But I'm not saying I don't like that, but I'm saying I don't like, I killed it off because it's just other artists were oversaturating too much. And I'm sorry, like, but there needs to be a new sound for me to get back into it. There needs to be whole new life, a whole new style for me to get back into it, to bring it back to life. But you guys got to get more creative. You got to be more honest with yourselves. You've got to, start making real friendships, maybe, and do things not just for money, not just to sell records, but work with people that are unknown. You know what I mean? And Drake did that a lot. Drake worked with a lot of producers, and his producers helped other producers. That's what I loved about Drake, is not so much his music, but his personality. That's why he's still out today doing tours, because he's just a good dude. Like, he deserves all the riches. He deserves all the millions, all the love that he gets, because of the amount of people he's helped out is insane. And he revived music when it was crap. So God bless him. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about some other controversial videos next. Yeah, but I want you guys, maybe I'll do a part 2 on this if anybody's interested in debating. But I would really like to hear others' opinions on, hip hop today, the culture today. And you're probably going to say it's alive and well. You just bought this guy's album, and he's got 10 million listeners on Spotify, and so that's got to tell you something. It's not true at all. It's just dead in the streets. Like, it's not being promoted. People aren't playing it at clubs. And if they are, it's like, it's probably their own music that they set up. Like, it's probably like some artist that they're promoting. It's dead. Like, there's no real feel to it anymore. I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. Like, it's dead. No one's interested in it. So hopefully we can talk about that. I want to talk about some other things later, but just the whole point of this video, see, I already babbled for 30 minutes, but I killed hip hop with my subconscious. That means like I took it out of my mind